He warns they could be cited for contempt of Congress. Joining us now, Congressman Subramanyam of Virginia, a member of the House Oversight Committee. Congressman, thanks for joining us this morning. We haven't talked all that much on this show yet about the Bill and Hillary Clinton of this all. What exactly does James Comer want to learn from them? And when you have the opportunity to sit down with them at the end of next month, what do you want to ask them?
Yeah, well, it does appear as though Bill Clinton knew Jeffrey Epstein. We don't know the extent of their relationship. So I think it's, if you're going to target Republicans, you should target Democrats as well. Everyone should be held accountable. I don't really think the Clintons have much to offer. I think this is more of kind of a political targeting and trying to get this story off of Trump and onto another big name that's a Democrat. That's part of the Republican plan recently, and Clinton fits into that.
One of the things that's really important for us all to remember, I have to remind myself of this, when he was friendly, at least, with Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump was a Democrat. Okay, let's not forget. So when he's talking about, the Democrats are the only people that knew him, he was a Democrat at the time he was in those videos pointing at the women and all of that. Just one thing that we need to keep clear.
Yeah.
You wrote recently to the FBI director about potential tampering of the Epstein files. I'm going to read you to you. The American people understandably have concerns about the president using his political influence over the files release and either tampering, destroying, or selectively releasing and withholding files, particularly in light of the Department of Justice's announcement to start investigating Democrats who were associated with Epstein. What can and what are Republicans willing to do that are on the committee? Because I assume you've talked to them about this on the Oversight Committee. What are they willing to do to provide some actual accountability? Because Donald Trump's clearly very involved with the idea of what's in these documents, whether he is telling them what they can release, because that is how he has worked up until this point with this Justice Department. It's very hands-on, to say the least.
Yeah, I'll say we've been dragging most of the Republicans on the committee, kicking and screaming this whole time. And so it's been, very difficult, but we've been able to get some of these subpoenas out. But let's remember the subpoena we've issued to the Trump administration, the entire unredacted release of the files to our committee, and then we can help redact the victims' names and get that out. The bill that the president just signed is the release of all the files to the public and the committee. This is not selectively releasing files that make Democrats look bad. It's not taking, Jeffrey Epstein's brother right now is out there saying that they've cleansed the files, they've tampered with the files, they're in Winchester near my home in Virginia, and that there's something going on there, right? So we want to get to the bottom of what do they mean when they say Epstein files? How many Epstein files are there? Pam Bondi said they were on her desk. Well, others have said that her desk wouldn't be able to fit all the files that the DOJ and FBI have from over the years. So I have some questions, and I haven't gotten any answers yet.
How do you hold the DOJ accountable when they're saying, we're going to do this investigation, right? We're going to do this investigation. A lot of people are worried, including Mary McCord, who I think was the first person to say it on MS last week on our show, talked about, you say you're doing an investigation so you don't have to release things. How do you make sure they comply with the bill and now the law?
So if they're selectively releasing files or tampering with files, we have a couple aces in the hole. One, we have other documents, such as the Epstein estates documents. Yeah. We also have subpoenaed the bank records from a few banks. We want more from the committee. And then we have the biggest ace in the hole, which is the victims. The victims can tell us what's missing, what's there, what names have been scrubbed off the list. And so they've been incredibly helpful in this investigation. So we will know if the Justice Department is playing games with us.
Why haven't the victims just directly released the documents that they have access to?
Lawsuits and putting them at a huge risk. And so they want to help us work backwards to get to the names rather than telling us all the names themselves. And, we have many victims. Not all of them have come forward. Over 1,000 victims, right? And so, of the ones that have come forward, they don't know all the information themselves either. And they want the documents on themselves, too. Yeah. The Justice Department never released their own files and their own information to them. And so they have a lot of questions, too.
I want to get to Ghislaine Maxwell. She's a convicted sex trafficker. She was moved to this minimum security prison, and The Atlantic, got a hold of some of obtained emails and info from anonymous sources about the treatment that she's getting there, that she's receiving visitors privately in the prison chapel instead of the regular visitation space. Her lawyer has gained authorization from the warden to bring in private electronic equipment, and it goes on and on. Again, a convicted sex trafficker who was moved to a minimum security prison. Are others on oversight trying to get information about who signed off on this transfer? And is there any effort by Democrats to try to get her moved back to a higher security prison.
Yeah, I remember she got moved after one of Trump's lawyers talked to her for many hours.
A personal attorney.
Exactly,
Also, yes.
A former personal attorney. And, now she's bragging about her great treatment and talking about how great and what a gentleman the president is. One thing is some of the stuff she's already said that the president, wasn't at Jeffrey Epstein's house at various times has already been proven untrue. And, she's a liar, too. I mean, she's been charged with perjury many times. And so, yeah, we don't believe her. I still want to go down to Texas and talk to her, even if she pleads the fifth the whole time. I'm a lawyer.